How does your job search compare to 25,000 other job seekers, and 9 data-backed best practices to help improve your job search? Hi, I'm Sam at Huntr.co, offering you straightforward job search tips proven to help you get more interviews. In this video, I'll share job search insights and analysis from over 375,000 job applications, over 226,000 job postings, and 71,000 resumes. Watch until the end and you'll learn the best sites to find a job, hint it's not LinkedIn, how to double your interview response rate, and we'll bust some of the common myths around resume best practices and applicant tracking systems. So all of the data that I'm sharing today is going to be from Huntr's Job Search Trends Report for Q3 2025. What we're gonna focus on first is the time to first offer. So this is basically how long it's taking for folks to find a job. We looked at those 25,000 job seekers and found that on average, folks are finding a job or getting an offer within 2 months. So that's between 55 and 71 days. We also looked at the number of applications that job seekers are filling out each week. We found that the median is 16 applications, although there are some folks that are applying to as many as 83 jobs in just 1 week. That's what we call the spray and pray approach, and it is not recommended. When we're looking at the number of applications it takes before receiving an offer, we find that 1 in 5 job seekers find a job within 10 to 20 applications, and the majority of job seekers find a job within 50 applications. We did see some outliers that are applying to over 100 jobs, about 12% of job seekers, before they're receiving an offer. Now, if you are applying to hundreds of jobs, or your job search has taken over 3 months, then let's dive into some best practices for your resume and also talk about where you should be finding the jobs that you're applying to. The number one biggest factor for your resume is whether you are tailoring it to match the job description. Tailoring your resume increases your application interview conversion rate over 2x, over 100%. That means that if you're applying with a generic resume, you're seeing about a 2.9% application to interview conversion rate. Whereas if you are tailoring your resume to match the job description, you're seeing about a 6% application to interview conversion rate on average. Let's talk about what it means to tailor a resume. It starts with the summary section at the top. Now, we did this analysis of over 70,000 resumes, and we found that having a summary section increases your likelihood of getting an interview. Make sure that summary section is around 3 to 4 sentences long and have impacts and metrics and numbers throughout, especially in the first sentence. A lot of people want to start their summary section with the number of years of experience that they have, but remember that every single applicant could say the exact same thing, and it doesn't help you stand out from the pack. On average, hiring managers are spending about 8 seconds reviewing your resume, which means that first sentence counts. So make sure that you are tailoring it to match the job description and putting your best foot forward with a key metric or number that proves impact. The next section that you want to be tailoring is the skills section. Now, we found that folks that are adding about 27 skills to their resume have a higher likelihood of interview success. So don't be shy and make sure you're showing those skills and make sure that you're matching those skills to the job description. If a skill isn't listed in the job description, consider leaving it out of your application and making sure that you're putting those skills on your resume that are relevant to the job that you're applying for. The next myth that I want to bust, and I hope we can just leave this one totally behind. It is a complete myth that the resume has to be 1 page. In fact, we actually found that 2-page resumes perform on average much better than 1-page resumes. So instead of scrunching everything together and trying to get everything to fit on 1 page, use 2 pages, it's fine. We looked at this across every level, from entry level to senior roles, and across every industry. And we just found that 2-page resumes perform the best. And it's not the case that applicant tracking systems are gonna have a difficult time with 2-page resumes. We'll get to that in another video. There's a whole suite of myths around applicant tracking systems that we definitely want to address. One resume insight that would maybe be shocking to you is the certificates section. We actually found that having more certificates listed decreased your likelihood of getting an interview. So it's really smart to tailor that certificate section for the specific job that you're applying for, and making sure that you're keeping it to 1, maybe 2 certificates at max. Finally, one thing that you definitely want to have on your resume is your LinkedIn profile. We found that LinkedIn presence shows a strong correlation to interview success. Now let's get into one of the most important things about your job search. Where are you finding these roles? Now, we did an analysis of hundreds of thousands of applications, and we found some of the best sites to land interviews based on our Huntr user information and this job search trends report, analyzing via our job search tracker what jobs are converting from applications to interviews for Huntr job seekers. What we found is surprising. LinkedIn converts at about a 4% rate. That means it takes 25 applications to get 1 interview, or 100 applications to get 4 interviews on average. Now, other sites that we found that perform better are Handshake at 7.45%, Government Jobs consistently does well at 7%, and Well-Found for startups and scale-ups is especially a great site to use that consistently sees over 6% application interview conversion rates. So definitely make sure that you are applying to jobs on sites that have a higher application to interview conversion rate, or at the very least, make sure you're diversifying your search. If you think about it with LinkedIn, by nature, it's a social network, which means you're gonna have tons of applicants and it's going to be a very crowded field. Even if you're finding the job on LinkedIn and going directly to the company website, you're still going to be standing in line a lot. You may wonder why Google is so high on our list at 11%. One reason might be because if you Google search for a job, you tend to end up directly at the company website. So this is a good practice just to do a classic Google search to find jobs in your area or in your specific industry and area of expertise. Now, I hope this video was helpful to you. Please like and subscribe, and share in the comments if there's any data that you want us to be analyzing or looking at that would be helpful for you in your search. We do this job search analysis quarterly with our quarterly job search trends report. So definitely want to hear from you and make sure that this is valuable. Thank you for watching, and check out huntr.co for all of your job search needs, especially around resume building and tailoring resumes to match the job description.